Hey guys, it's Alex Vilman, and over the course of a few videos, I'm going to teach you the basics of working with Linux and SSH, as well as try to instill a basic understanding of how things work on a Debian system. You're going to learn useful Linux commands and programs, as well as how to manage users and permissions, understanding services and package management, doing basic diagnostics, and basic network configuration. Today, you're just going to learn to connect to a system via SSH. For those of you who are starting completely new, SSH stands for Secure Shell, and it's an easy and secure way to connect to remote machines. To get started, first you'll need to open up your local terminal. In OS X, this is accomplished simply by opening terminal.app. The process is a little more involved on Windows, but we'll get there in a second. Now, once your terminal is open, simply type SSH followed by your username, the @ symbol, and the remote machine's IP address or domain name. Once you've done that, just hit enter. Now you're going to see this screen. For now, just type yes. We'll go over what it means later. When prompted for your password, simply type it in and press enter. Note that you won't see any characters as you're typing. Once you've done that, you should be successfully logged into the system. For those of you on Windows, you'll need to go to putty.org and download Putty, which is an SSH client for Windows, since there isn't one included with Windows by default. After downloading and launching Putty, type the hostname or IP address in the box and click open. From here, the process is the same as the other platforms. Now that you're logged into the machine, let's go over what everything means. This is a Debian system with Bash as the shell. This is a pretty typical setup and is a good environment to start out with. The first thing that you're going to notice is your prompt. In a typical environment, it consists of the current user, followed by the host name, followed by a $sign. If I switch to root, notice how the prompt changes. My username is now root, and the $sign has become a £sign. Root is a standard Linux superuser account, and the $sign at the end of the prompt serves as a visual reminder that you are operating as the superuser, whereas the $sign serves as a visual reminder that you are operating as a normal user. Not all Linux systems do this, but for the most part, it's a pretty good rule of thumb. On Linux, a lot of system administration related commands will need to be executed as root, even while you're logged in as a normal user, since the superuser has full access to the system, much like an administrator account on Windows. There are several ways of accomplishing this, but one of the easiest ways is using the sudo command. What sudo does is take any command and execute it as root, like so. After typing your password, it will then execute it as the superuser. What I've done here is ran the whoami command as root. Whoami tells the system to print the current user, which in this case is normally Alex, but since I have preceded the command with sudo, it prints root. If you don't fully understand right now, don't worry, as I will cover sudo usage throughout the entire course. To log out of the remote system, simply type exit and press enter. You will be returned to your regular command line. Now, for some quick bash tips to make your life easier when working with the command line. To scroll through your recently used commands, simply use the up and down arrow on your keyboard. To search for a specific command in your history, hit Ctrl R and start typing the command. Then just hit enter to execute it. Now that you know how to connect to a system via SSH and have a basic understanding of root and sudo, as well as the bash prompt, we can now begin to really start digging into working with Linux systems via the command line. That's all I have for this video. Thanks for watching.